Oh, third time's a charm.
Everybody does do that.
Okay, we're live.
Before you do that, call me.
Yeah,
We'll
of
set it-
course.
we'll set it in a different spot.
Okay.
And all that other crap.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
How'd your day go?
Hectic. Okay.
I'm sure there's a long list for tomorrow yet.
It is what it is. Put it this way, I took the roll-off truck here. I have to deliver one.
Oh,
Where you gonna go with that one?
Can't.
Oh.
Figure, well, if I'm coming this far,
yes.
doesn't have to be there till Wednesday morning, but
Carol,
Hey Jamie, sometime tomorrow morning, can you give me a call?
did you get an
Depends if you're
envelope
mad or
from
not.
Laurel?
Oh, I'm not mad.
I
Okay,
know
yeah,
that.
that can.
Thank
What time
you.
works best for you?
I have to be at the airport till 11, so
I'll call you before then, yeah.
that'd be great. It's minor,
That's fine.
it's not something I'm gonna bring up here.
Okay.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
no,
much.
I'll do it after I get the crap
Thank
out of there, because they're coming through that building
Oh, yeah,
tomorrow.
Yep.
So, once I pull all the crap out of the
Yep.
machine, I'll get it
Okay.
all.
that'll work. Perfect.
All this stuff there.
Oh, it is, okay, just curious about that, if you had to get that out of there.
We're at.
It's taking more
That's good.
time for
Yeah.
When you get more out there.
Hmm,
I'm not sure exactly. Pretty soon, probably.
When did they open again?
Kind of depends. It's usually,
I pulled mine out Saturday.
okay. I think there's actually people camping.
Okay.
Oh, really? I
We're gonna
suppose-
get rolling, you guys, because we've got a full agenda, so, not Rick, I'm so sorry, Chad and Mark are unable to be here, unexpectedly, and neither of them are able to call in. If they decide to join us later, we'll just take notes, of when they joined, the meeting. So we'll start with Jamie, your report.
Yeah, park benches are all out. I don't remember doing this, but apparently I bought some drifts not that long ago, I guess. Pulled the pumps out of the lift station, we cleaned them out. Flushed the sewer and a stretch of maple. Had one tree come down. Dumpsters are at the park, yada, yada, that stuff. Bathrooms are open at the park, the water's on. I still gotta do some cleanup yet, but it's open.
Clean up in the bathrooms or clean up where?
Along the fences.
Oh, okay.
Got all the snow fences in. We had to bring forth back to the shop, do some repair on them. They fell apart. Swept some streets, changed the chains on the swings at the park. I got 2 left to do and one I can't. I gotta get a seat for it. Started discharging at the lagoon. Had loaded a couple bleachers for Rock Valley. They had a drunk driving thing for the high school or something. And they said theirs are probably from Rock Valley to Haywarden. So they borrowed a couple of ours. So,
They were lost in the flood.
Yeah.
because
I was thinking.
he originally said they could be by Haywarden or something, but yeah. The shop is emptied out, gutted. They're coming tomorrow, we're gonna start getting ready to move that baby out of there. Brought all the equipment to the pool, started on it, guardhouse is about 90% done. Currently, I'm in the pool's pumped, gotta get all that crap out of there yet and wash it down. Then I started inside, putting stuff back together. Ordered a window for the shelter house there, some kid kicked it in. And had to order a windshield for the payloader too. stupidity. I was pushing up at the dump, tree fell off, hit, rolled back around, hit the windshield. I needed Brian Blankensport to help me get it off.
Oh, man.
So that, yeah, that went quick, but that's, oh, that, the Jaeger kid, I don't remember his first name. He did the alleys last year,
Alex,
Caleb.
okay.
Caleb. He asked if he could do them again, if you're interested in it.
Yeah, I think.
Did he give you a price on it or
500 for the whole town,
for the whole city?
for the whole, all the alleys. But this time, if you're interested in doing it, I would like to see if I could use his packer and follow behind it and pack it, because that didn't get done last year,
Mhm.
and I think it would last a lot better.
Okay.
For 500, that's not worth your time.
Well, I didn't want to answer him, I told him you overuse. It's up to you, it doesn't matter to me.
Did you, yeah, did you look at the cameras at the park to see if you could see who busted in the window?
No,
The
there's no,
children were all there.
yeah, there's no cameras back there.
Okay.
I was told by a couple kids who it was, and that, but his mom came over and started arguing, so I quit because it was a argument I wasn't gonna win. But I had enough of them other kids tell me who it was. But I didn't see him, so I just can't go out and
Sure.
Yeah.
blame the kid or nothing. But
Okay.
could be a bunch of kids that didn't like him.
Okay.
Is it a problem in that area where we should try and get a camera back there?
That's the first time I've had trouble back there. I don't know about Scott or Jordan, if they've had any troubles with it or not. Or Clint that year he was here, I don't know if they had any troubles or not, never asked.
No. Okay.
Yeah, where he puts the cameras is better.
Okay.
He just moved them for winter. Needs to just set it up again.
Yeah. Do we need to start putting some plexiglass in?
This is the first window that's been broke since I've been around.
Oh,
I think one just fell out, I know that, that was nobody's problem.
okay.
The small windows on the open area, that's all plexiglass.
Oh.
This was the actual shelter house on the north side.
Mm-hmm.
So the window to the south and that one are double pane glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a cheap one, huh?
I ordered the cheap one. With all them kids in there, it ain't no sense getting them.
Do we need mulch in the park?
I haven't even looked yet, I'd have to look at that.
We got bids, so we need to, is there anything else, Jamie, from your report? Okay. We have bids for our street repair, the section that we were discussing. 225 per square yard from Road Guy and Stable to 80 per square yard. We need approximately 29,400 square yards, so that estimated cost is 66,000 and some change for that. It needs to happen. We have to get caught up and start putting it back into the routine, so I'd like to move forward with that formally, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Rick. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. So you can call them
Road guy, he's the cheapest.
Yep.
Mhm.
and get that scheduled, and so that we're on his calendar, please. Flower pots, any other thoughts to that?
I haven't found any, we started with the pool and all that crap, so I
Okay.
haven't even been looking lately.
And pool prep is going okay?
Yeah.
Do you have a date that you're hoping to fill?
Sooner the better.
Yeah.
Not yet, no, I haven't even thought of that.
Okay,
Joni would like it all ready by Memorial Day,
Okay,
which is the 26th.
that should be, should be
So-
fine.
Yeah, I think they plan on training like early that week.
Yeah. No,
Right
that
after
shouldn't, that
Memorial
shouldn't be
Day.
a problem.
Okay.
We know what held up the problem last year and that's fixed, so it shouldn't have a big deal.
Perfect.
Did we get applications for mowing for him, for seasonal help?
Yes, we've got 4.
We have 4, okay. Are we interviewing, or are we giving it to Jamie to interview? What are we wanting to do?
The Hickey guy was stay out of it. We'll interview,
Okay.
just 2 people.
Okay, who's doing the interview with you, Carol?
Volunteer,
Somebody?
I just did interviews.
I can't, I like absolutely cannot. I started a new job last week, so it's not gonna happen.
I can probably help out.
If you give me a date, I could
Yeah.
probably help out too.
I believe I got a couple family in there, so I don't think I should be doing it.
I'd like for at least one person to do it with Carol. If that's okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
Carol, pick a date and then between Rick and I, we can figure out.
all right.
we'll do them all in one night.
5 minutes. 5 minutes each.
I'm not gonna be there, so you just do whatever you need. All right, and then Jordan garage door for city shop. We wanted to put that on the agenda, but I bumped it up because it's related to Jamie stuff. So if you wanna give a background, and then if you have any other context.
So basically, me and Rick went down, the city plaza with the wing arms too big to go in through those doors, the new city shop on the east side. So we kind of looked at about ripping out, one between, but that size of the door would be horribly expensive compared to just putting one door on what I call the southwest side of the shop. You go out towards the alley, putting a new frame in and the doors. Yeah, Jimmy, get a couple,
Southeast side?
it'd be the southwest.
Southwest side.
Yeah.
So basically be on the west
Okay.
side, south side.
Okay. To alley.
You got 2 quotes of each for a door, and then 2 quotes for framing it in and doing like the trim work and stuff. for it.
Okay. Frame, door, trim.
That was gonna be worse than that.
Can I see? I also thought it was going to be worse than that.
That's not so bad.
No.
I kept saying it was only like 10,000, that's what I heard, but it's not,
Yeah.
it's not near that.
No,
No.
no.
And then like the one said, if we needed to take out the block, put cement in, it would be a little more. He thought 3 yards of cement would be the most.
No, not even that.
Yeah, that's what he had. I think 3 yards down. They said was the
Oh, he
most. Would be the most.
Okay.
He said it more or less depended on how much they had to, he thought maybe just one row would do it.
You guys come on in and just sit over here by these gentlemen. We're gonna have it's a full house today. It's gonna be fun.
It's like trouble in here.
Just walked in.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it needs to happen.
Yeah.
So,
Regardless, yeah.
Yeah.
So we said at least sometime this year, yeah. I just wondered if we need to, we had to get in the budget. Get in the budget.
Carol will want it in the budget.
Our budget is set, yeah, but this might be done before the new year anyway, or what do you think?
Do you think it'll happen before the new budget year?
For them, they probably not
It's
before
July 1, right?
It'll be this summer.
the summer, yeah.
July 1 though?
Should be after that, which is.
Yeah, I would
It
say
depends on their
after.
timeline.
After that?
Yeah,
After
I
July
would-
1?
I would have to talk to them, whoever you want to do it, I would have to talk to them first.
Do you wanna? Which one's last?
What were, Harry Diamond and Worcester, what was that about?
Who?
Same
That was
thing.
the framing, right?
Those are.
2 were doors
that's,
and then 2 were
labor.
2 were the labor and framing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to tell you I was too busy to get to you today, but I forgot.
No problem. We got a couple more. Okay. Okay, so we have 2 bids then.
2 bids for each
each thing.
portion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you guys, did everyone get a chance to look at them?
Yeah.
Do you know which one you prefer for both of those so that Jamie can see when they can schedule us so that we know what
Rick, who was the cheapest again?
when we're gonna spend?
In case cheaper.
Yep.
But we looked at
And it's the same size.
It's supposed to be apples for apples, it'll be for
Very
everyone.
well. I mean, if it's close, I don't know, I'd almost rather keep it local.
I would too, I prefer to go out on the country,
So,
just to keep it.
same location.
$700
spots.
Yeah, so,
difference between Hill Country and D&K. D&K has worked on our,
Yeah,
Old
they're,
shop
they're
before.
reliable, yeah.
but that was probably before
Did you
Hill
ask them?
Country.
Jamie, did you have some time frame wise, are they out by the way?
I didn't even, I didn't, never thought of doing that.
Days if you do it in spring, then or summer, they could probably work around that.
I would think so.
Motion, anybody?
Do you wanna wait and see the time frame before you make a motion, or?
Well, I don't know about D and K, I know, it didn't sound like from Brody, that would,
Yeah, but you can.
it wouldn't be very long for him.
I don't get to vote, so you need to vote.
Cause then I believe Hogardorn was the cheaper of the other one, right?
yeah, very nice.
1948 and $1,948, and Wiersma was $3,500.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. You got a preference on anybody you work better with?
As long as it's good,
That's up to you.
as long as I can fit through it and door opens, I'm happy.
I know, Hill Country's done stuff at that station for us already, but with some doors. Which, yeah,
The local.
doors.
I mean, the framing, there's a bigger difference. There's a pretty big difference in cost.
And they're both local.
Those are
that's
both local guys
Yeah.
too, though. And they're all good. I don't have a problem with any of them.
Nobody wants to be the first one. Come on, gentlemen.
So I'll make a motion, we do, when we'll put it on the lower bid for the framing, and we do the country door. Or the actual door itself,
Yeah.
installation.
Okay, Rick supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Jamie, will you follow up and see when they can schedule us so that we know if we're gonna do it with this fiscal year or next?
I'll call him in the morning.
Okay. Okay. Anything else for Jamie, you guys?
I do the grass seeding at the Hayward Park,
Hasn't been done yet.
been brought up.
Yeah, no, it's gotta be done, and probably do it when we fertilize the softball field, make the round and everything. So there's a spot over by the pump house that's gotta be planted too.
Next week or two?
Easy,
We still have to work on plans for a shelter house over there yet too.
and don't forget.
Don't, that's coming up later. Shh, don't do that yet.
You did last, you did that last week.
Okay.
I didn't.
That's right.
Grass seeding at Faber Park, 1 to 2 weeks. Okay. What else? Anyone else have anything else for Jamie? Good?
Well, good, I think.
Okay.
Thanks.
Before you go, 6 months has passed since we did the end of the year performance, so we could do a mid-year. So you and I will find a time. It can no longer be during Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, since I'm not here anymore. So I'll find a time and we can flex it so that you aren't working a super long day or whatever. I'll take you out for coffee or
So they
something.
have to lie about myself.
Yeah, yeah. But you don't have to fill out anything. It's just like a pulse check to see like how things are going, how the
Yeah,
year is,
no, that's
all
fine.
that stuff. Okay.
That's fine.
And I'm gonna do it with everybody, so I'll talk to Carol and Troy too.
You had said that before.
You can stay if you want, but you're,
All right, I'm gonna head out.
all right, thank you, Jamie.
We'll see you.
Thanks, Judy.
Okay, do any of you guys wanna go? We can release you. If you wanna scoop, yeah,
I'll just get it over with right away.
yeah,
All right, well, I'm, with Herm Sanitation. This upcoming July, the landfill's gonna go up 7%. So we are looking at possible increase again on the residential garbage rate, which right now, I believe, talking to Carol this morning, I think it's $19.50. We are looking to go to $21, starting July 1.
Okay.
It'd be a little bit more than that, but it's been a few years since our last increase. So it's just as far as kind of trying to keep up with inflation and that kind of stuff, so. And I'm guessing they're putting a new cell in this year, so that's where they're starting to increase, or that's why they're raising their gate fees this year. We probably can blame Rock Valley for filling it last year.
yeah. $21 from 1950 to 21 from July 1st. And the cost of 7%.
Oh, you don't do.
Okay, do you guys have any questions on that? Do we need to send out something to the community with that notice, or will they just see it on their bill and call you and ask you about it?
Next meeting will be.
Okay,
Is there one other thing, we were talking about it, I don't know, instead of, not that it's a bad deal coming in here every so often, but is it a possibility of maybe just doing like a yearly, just go with the rate of inflation increase every year? Or is that, something to think about or do as far as just every year, maybe do it on a 5-year period and then I come in 5 years or something like that, or 3 years or however you want to do it, but maybe just an annual, say 3.5% increase every year, just to keep up with the rate of inflation. I know, talking to some of the other haulers, there are other towns do that, but I'm not saying that we have to do it either, but it's just a thought or an ask.
okay.
It doesn't have to be decided on now, but
Yeah,
Not opposed to it.
yeah. Yeah, we can talk about that and then kind of give you because we'll have our ordinance next week or next month, so then we can determine what we want to do, because we would incorporate it probably with that.
okay. So,
I don't have any questions. Do you guys have any questions for him?
I don't think so.
Appreciate you guys.
I do have one more thing.
No, that was it. You only got 2.
I only got 2?
No, I'm just
Ah,
kidding.
man. So, we've had it now just a little bit in the last, I don't know if there's an ordinance in there that garbage cans only be on the road for a certain amount of time. Cause
There is an ordinance.
because
You had it.
I did,
We just went over it.
it's not so bad, this time of year, but in the winter time when they get left out and they get hit by the snowplow, they get wrecked,
Mhm.
who's, right now I'm replacing and I'm taking the hit for it.
Oh,
So if it's something we can put in the ordinance that, if it's not, if it's not pulled in within,
I think it's 12 hours after.
12 hours, that it would fall on the homeowner's responsibility.
we would change that.
I think we lengthened it, but it already is in there that it's the homeowner's responsibility.
Okay.
If it's damaged,
Okay,
that needs to be assessed to the property owner, not the homeowner, the property owner. Right?
Correct.
That's already in there. I'm like 99% sure, because we just looked at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Too.
You should not be responsible
Okay.
financially
Okay.
for those,
So
going
that would-
forward or in the past.
that would be me then billing the homeowner then for the
For
other
the,
can.
for the replacement can,
Yeah.
yes.
And I get it if it happens on a Friday, but usually on Friday, if it snows on Thursday night,
Yeah,
he's got a plow on Friday when I'm doing it. He does, he does a good job of making sure, he doesn't smoke them or anything like that. And
yeah.
then they're all gonna be out.
I believe we gave it,
It was 12, I believe, 124.
I think we went to a full day.
Okay.
But I'll double check and we'll let you know what it is, but you are still not responsible for it.
Okay.
whatever happens to it.
Okay,
So you just tell the person and they are responsible for the cost.
I know it's quite a ways out, but beginning of next winter, we should probably send a communication out there too, just as a
A
reminder.
reminder, yeah. No, we'll do it now, because snow's fresh on everyone's mind, so we'll just quick shoot something out there. But yeah, we'll
okay,
double checking and let you know the turnaround time. But
sounds good.
do you have anything else?
No, I think I'm good
Are
now.
you sure?
I believe so.
Okay.
I already went over over my exceeded
Okay.
amount.
Okay.
There's too many other people that got other things, so.
Awesome, okay. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We
Yes,
appreciate what you do.
We
Deb.
do.
Thank you.
Yeah, sign on my 4 hours.
24 hours,
All right, sounds good.
so
Okay, appreciate it.
have a good night.
Thank you. Yeah, see ya.
Thanks. Kenny or Angie, do either of you want to go? Okay.
I only made it one copy. This is the shelter house that we were talking about.
Yep.
So this is gonna be the open bid for the building that's not tied to the old shelter house. That we as the community club would like to see this one go through rather than tying it to the existing one. Just for the fact that, you guys remember, just a freestanding building. And
Yeah,
then it can just be, always added on. So Brad Wiersma did a bid for us. This is as close as he can get it, using the existing cement and, building the building tall enough on the, in the directions right, the north side. So if you wanted to add on to this building, the slope would go to the existing height back over here. So this building would be high enough that if you wanted to tear down the shelter house 10 years down the road, we could extend this roof line to be the height of where the old one is on the north side, so your street side, right?
yeah.
So it could still be,
Yeah.
this building might be 12 feet tall here, but when we get, if you want to connect that and make that existing, you could build that to where 8 foot on the street side. So if you wanted the bigger shelter house added onto it, or however you want to do it. So he did go higher on the new one. This is all a little bit of cement work that he's gonna do. It's built to put walls on the outside down the road and then totally enclose it if we want to.
Okay,
So it's
That's great.
structurally bid for, if you totally, 10 years, you wanna go like, here, let's just build this, put walls on it, do whatever you want. It's gonna be, you don't have to change it now, so. And then that bid came in at, you guys can see that, 60,000.
Mhm.
So if you wanna take a copy of that.
Yeah.
And then, you remember what the building looks, what it'll look like, or the freestanding one?
You said 60.
60,000, roughly 60,000.
60,260.
Okay,
That'd be nice.
yeah, covered
So
with option to.
community club would be willing, if you guys, what you wanna do, cause it's gonna be your building, not ours, but we're willing to put up, say 20 to 30,000 a half
Okay,
over probably 4 to 5 years, depending on the community center, what we're committed to already.
yeah,
So what we kind of thought is that the city would do all the grant work, say you want to put, we're 20, we're, 25, and we can get 20,000 from the casino or put a grant in for that.
yeah.
If it's for next year, next fall, thank you. And then,
Thank
I think that would be a pretty good way to, where the city doesn't have to pay for it all up front, either, so.
Yeah.
So that was it. So you guys can get back to me. If you don't like that plan, we can get more bids. Of course, this is just a rough bid. You guys, of course, we should have multiple bids. This is just a rough,
Yeah.
give me a rough idea.
Of what we're dealing with.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's 100,000, 80,000, 60,000.
Yeah.
So you guys can decide what you want to do there.
Okay,
Good.
I like the design.
I do too.
Mhm.
What's your goal, Kenny? What's the community club's goal to have this structure up?
Oh, yeah, tomorrow?
But you want it by the 4th?
No, I don't think we have time
Okay.
anymore,
Yeah.
Yeah, would it be great?
Yeah,
But I think we're behind that a little bit, and then to have it all tore up and
You want it, okay,
construction, I would just say if it's somewhere in the fall, so we can get grass planted back. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of, everything's on that cement, but you know how it is,
yeah.
so.
Well, and the fall is great because that's when the grand cycle is for the casino, so,
That's what I'm kind of thinking
Yeah.
too, so, I mean, we've dealt with it out,
yeah,
so.
Okay.
That's what we're kind of thinking, and you guys get back to us.
thank you very
Sounds
much.
great.
Do you guys have any other questions for him before he scoops?
I don't, that's great, Tim.
Thank you,
All right, have a good night.
you too. You wanna go?
We just want to let you guys know that we have expanded our store hours at the store, open at 6, Monday through Friday, 7 on Saturday. It's going good. Good community support.
Yeah, that's been crazy.
Unfortunately, my daughters enjoy that.
I've seen them a few times, but like, yeah,
No, not knowing what we were getting into for sure, it's better than expected, so,
Yeah.
Awesome.
yeah, it's been great.
it's awesome for Main Street.
Yeah,
And then we kind of put together a event over Mother's Day weekend, so I wanted to talk to you guys about that. Just mostly information. Most of the businesses on Main Street, are gonna try and get more foot traffic. Doing different things like Todd's doing a paint sale and patio furniture, stuff like that. We've got quite a bit going in our store. The garage, like they're gonna push their brunch, maybe call it the special, things like that. If the weather's nice, we'd like to close off the street, but we'll kind of wait and see on that. The library, they wanna like do bookmarks or something, what were you gonna say?
So we do need to close the street though with an ordinance, though, or resolution. So we would need to do that now. And then if it doesn't happen, like if it's rainy and you
Mhm.
don't have it, that's okay,
Yeah.
but we want it covered.
I think she.
Yeah.
Were you kind of covered?
Well, I thought about it.
Most, yeah. I think we've talked to most of the businesses in town, and a few out of town. Just to kind of get community involvement.
Yeah.
The museum's gonna be open. It's from 10 to 2 on Saturday, May 10th.
Okay,
I talked to Jen Smith too, Lane County. And so she's gonna,
yeah, if you guys have any ideas too.
I love it.
or if you
So
think of anyone,
the community center rebuilding committee would love to have like
Yeah.
a space so
Yep.
we can put the Kubota on display and sell some raffle tickets.
yep, I've got you on there.
Okay,
And like, Man Market's gonna do an open house that day.
okay,
Talk to Randy Gakey, he's gonna, I don't know, maybe do something as well.
okay,
So she's kind of
awesome,
anybody and everybody.
great,
Cool.
I love it.
Thank you, Angie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This will be a fun event.
yeah,
So,
Great.
and I think that's all I really have.
cool. What's our resolution number?
6:25.
Can I get a motion for resolution 625 to close the 300 block of Main Street on May 10th from, let's do 8 to 4. Just make it safe. Set up and turn on.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Dorian. Can I get a second?
Support.
Great. Shannon, aye?
Aye.
Thank you.
City has stuff to do that, right? Barricades or whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, Jamie has all of that stuff, so, yep, he can give you access to our barricades and, okay. And if you have questions or stuff, you just let me know. You send us a message and me or Jamie.
Do they send flyers to, or do we, to
Um,
the, all the
Everybody?
people in town?
Yeah,
You-
Or, I mean,
we've started.
oh, you did,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you can do that. Carol knows the
Okay.
process. for that.
Also, if you do talk to anybody, we're meeting on Wednesday at Belly Up at noon,
Meeting.
if anyone wants to join. I know that's same as Kiwanis Day, but we do have a few that are gonna meet that day.
Okay,
Just kind of
to plan.
finalize, and then we created a Facebook page as well. It's Spring on Main,
Okay,
Inwood, and then we'll start blasting everyone's specials on there kind of thing after Wednesday.
okay. Awesome. Thanks, guys. exciting.
One more question I did have, I guess. So Todd, Ranky and I were talking about the people that live on Main Street.
Yeah.
And we've kind of talked to some of them. Do we need to be more concerned about that if we close the street? I mentioned it to Roger Tesla's daughter.
Bethany.
Yeah,
and
with
Neil.
their residents. She didn't seem too concerned.
No, they don't.
If it's only from 10 to 2.
I mean, as a courtesy, whenever I do a race,
Mhm.
I always talk to anyone who's along the race route, letting them know that there's gonna be a lot of foot traffic and pedestrians, and just be mindful that the roads might be closed, et cetera, just as a courtesy. So it might not hurt for you to just
Okay.
pass the word along that
Yep.
it's gonna be a busy day and, you know, maybe give yourself an extra 15 minutes to get out and get out the door and stuff.
Yep.
Hopefully
Sounds
it's a busy day.
Okay.
Ah,
Thank you.
yes, thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
All right, see you guys.
Yes, thank you. Can you give us a second? We're gonna do our public hearing for the proposed budget. Are you here for that? Because I don't think you're here for that. You're here for the tractor pull? Are you here for the proposed budget here?
No, I just
Okay.
thought I'd give you an
Okay.
update on a few things.
Oh, you have an update on a couple things? Okay.
I'm not on the agenda, I just saw you posted last night.
Yes.
So I showed up.
I love it. You're always welcome. Okay, Cody, do you guys wanna go? Well,
Yep.
we can wrap and let you guys
Good.
go. Yep.
So June sixth is the, when we're planning on having the tractor pull again this year. Last year, we were able to donate, $10,000 back to the Inland Fire and Rescue with that. We're on track to do that again or more. We got over $12,000 in donations already. And that's a couple $1,000s ahead of where we were last year at this time, for that. And those are all from local businesses and, people, in the community or towns outside of the community for that. We are asking for the, closures for a couple roads on that day. So that'd be mid-morning, June 6th, to probably late night or early morning on June 7th when the barricades would come down.
Okay.
That'd be Jefferson Street, from the alley between Cherry Avenue and Maple Street, up to West Church Street. And then Cherry Avenue from the CFE corn bunker up to Washington Street.
Okay. Thank you. And we have 10 a.m. to midnight. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that should be all right.
Cool. I'm excited for it. Do you guys have any questions for these gentlemen about the event or anything, about the closures or anything like that?
I don't think so.
We will be having the same insurance that we did last year through our, the association that we partnered with, Western Iowa Pullers.
Awesome.
They buy the insurance as a group and then split it up between all of their events throughout the summer, so. And we can supply you guys with a certificate of liability too.
Cool.
So awesome. Another question that we did have, we were wondering if it would be all right if we hung two LED lights on the pole across from Dammer's house, to give that area of the track and that street a little bit more light the night of. I think we'd be able to use existing power that's there for those. And we would be able to do the work as well.
I don't have a concern. Can you coordinate with Jamie, our
Yeah.
public works guy? Do you have his phone number?
Yep.
Okay.
So, because that would eliminate the need for, last year we had a diesel powered light tower down there.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
And it just gets a little noisy because most of the crowd is down on that end
Yeah.
by the concession stands and such.
yeah,
So it would
Yeah.
just eliminate that a little bit.
yeah. I think that's fine. Just coordinate with Jamie.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Anything else you guys have?
That should be it. Unless
Okay.
you guys have any
Are you doing
questions.
food trucks and stuff again?
Yes, so we have the same,
I'm worried about the food.
we have the same taco truck coming that we've had the last 2 years, and then the garage is also, gonna be, renting out of the concession stands.
Awesome.
Okay.
And each year we've told them to bring more food than the last year, so maybe this year we'll go have the food a little longer than 8:30, so. But yeah.
Great, that sounds great. Cool. Okay. Can I, what's the 725? All right, I got resolution 725 to close a portion of Cherry Street for the date of June 6th from 10 a.m. to midnight.
So moved.
Support? Jordan, all right,
Aye.
Aye.
3 ayes.
So Jefferson Street is actually a county
County
road.
road.
So we sent a letter to the Board of Supervisors and they'll handle that.
Sounds
So
good.
that should be done too.
Thank you for that.
I don't have anything else. You guys are good to go. If you need anything, as you're prepping for it, you just let me know, or Jamie or Carol.
Sounds good. We usually do call the sheriff's department.
Yeah.
Could this
Oh,
be
you're
our-
here.
Send me an email, that way I don't forget.
Sounds good.
Or somebody email me, that way I can make sure it's on our schedule.
Okay, sounds good.
That worked out very well.
Yeah. Two birds, one stone.
Yeah, I saw you're gonna be here, I was like, you know what, I'll show up.
Yeah. Awesome.
There's a whole squad waiting outside.
All right, try not to bring trouble, so,
What day is it?
Yeah.
June 6th.
I'm glad you guys have revived this. It's awesome. So thank you very much.
They've done an excellent job.
Yeah,
And
it's great.
everybody that comes to the poll too, has nothing but good things to say about it, so,
Awesome.
pollers and spectators alike. So,
I love it.
we appreciate your guys' support and help us bring it back.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, have a good night. All right. He was here first, so can I do him?
Yep.
And then you, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I thought I'd just give some updates. Been through the first quarter of the year now. So I'll give you a few things we've been working on and then I guess a few stats. I prepared this about 2 hours ago and then ended up in a call, so it's not all that polished. So we installed some software on our computers that's tied to our CAD system to help our deputies and such better track their time. So they can, and then we created patrol zones for every town, for the casino, for every school. So they can basically hit buttons on their screen where they're at so we can actually track and allocate time. Before that, they basically at the end of the month filled out a log to log their time, which at that point is kind of a guess. So we have a lot more accurate reporting and we can generate some better reports from it, which I'll give you some stats on that in a sec. These things don't necessarily pertain to you, but just behind the scenes, we've streamlined a lot of the logistics of time cards or requisitions, our UCR reporting, which is our reporting to the state of Iowa and then to the feds with crime stats. We have one deputy get done with FTO, Deputy Langenhorst. We hired Deputy Vandentop, who used to be Rock Valley Police. We're not quite full strength yet. We have one vacancy we're still trying to fill. Hopefully we can fill that. The county votes on their budget tomorrow. There's, I guess I would say, a reasonable chance that we might implement a school resource officer program in the county. We'll find more out tomorrow with that, but I'm fairly confident on that. We did start providing 24/7 coverage with the deputy actually working versus on call. Before that, 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. you had to call somebody out. Now we have somebody that works 24/7, which helps with our response times throughout the county. Pertaining here, we're going to be working with the state patrol and such to do some traffic enforcement awareness stuff now that we're kind of getting to the travel time of the year when more people are traveling and such. I know the stop sign here has been a concern as well as speed through town. So kind of just hoping to raise some awareness to that. We did put the speed trailer north of town, which people mash their brakes all the time. The guy behind me, in front of me on the way in here, definitely got his attention, slowed him down. So we'll keep moving that around. Let's see, the Lyon County alert system is up and live. So if we do end up with any severe weather or anything, we'll be putting out alerts there. I'd encourage people to sign up if they haven't already. The feedback so far on that's been pretty good. What we're going to be working through now is coordinating with fire department, with the mayor, et cetera. We're going to set up alert groups on it so that we can text, basically automate messages to certain people if there's incidents in town or anything as well. Right now, for example, our protocol is if there's a severe storm watch that we send a page out, which really isn't something that probably warrants necessarily a page, but if we have a text group through that for all firefighters, first responders, et cetera, it's just a lot more convenient to send out than trying to send pages out to everybody and cluttering that up. We started a process, again, not necessarily pertaining to Inwood, but going through every policy that we have, which is a lot, one by one, to get them up to speed with current laws and everything. So that process is just starting. We implemented a crisis canine program. You probably saw that. We actually have the canine already. That went a lot faster than anticipated. Training should be done in such probably mid-summer or so. But if you see, it's Deputy Stoner who's a handler, and then Honey is the canine. If you see him out and about, they'll be interacting and such. They're going to try to make it out to most of the events that they can to get some exposure. This might sound odd, but we've never had a fully functioning second dispatch position. So basically what that would mean, if we lose a computer at our primary one, at least a portion of our systems don't work until we get a computer replaced. So I proposed to the 911 board to get a second station fully operational for redundancy and such. They approved that. So that should be fully operational here by July 1 for sure. We have all the stuff already. We just now have to get it installed. So if we do, we have better redundancy, and if we have a incident, we can get two people working at the same time. Yeah, statistics. So I wanted to run the whole quarter, but with the way we changed that system on the computers and such, I just ran the last month because it was active for the whole last month. Dispatch calls for service, we had 18 hours, just over 18. A good portion of that was the abuse case here in town at the daycare. It looks like, yeah, anyways, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 traffic stops, looks like 1 minor crash, structure fire, and a couple 911 hangups, welfare checks, a couple of use calls. And then we had additional patrol time in Inwood of about 48 hours for a total time of about 66.4 hours, which is, just for reference sake, that's about 5% of all of our call time across the county. So, which is pretty proportional to population when I checked, because I nerded out like that. Mm-hmm. So then I'm a little bit of a numbers nerd. So just for reference sake, our cost is about $66 an hour for deputies. $70 an hour for deputies when you include benefits, gas, all that. So the reason I figured that out is just trying to track, like, are we actually giving cities and stuff what you're paying for, more or less. So if I just took that times our hours this month, we're at $4,620. The total for the year is $24,000 and change. So we're if this continues, basically you're paying way under what our cost is. So we're certainly, I think, doing well there. That's all I had. Any questions for me?
I love numbers, so thanks for that.
Well, I didn't bring them all out because I didn't want to appear too nerdy, but yeah.
I do appreciate data, so thank you.
Yeah. No, I figured our cost down to the vehicle fuel and everything because the school resource officer stuff, what's our additional cost? And yeah, it figures out to about, right at about 69, like 90 something an hour. So it's interesting when I went through calls for service for all the municipalities and such. So far, it's been basically per capita, I think there's a lot of times a perception that certain towns get more calls than other. But so far, it's been about per capita. I mean, municipalities don't necessarily like hearing this, but so far, we're really cheap compared to the hours we spend, so.
Yeah.
Any questions for me?
I recognize that being on a lot of the mayor calls that I'm on, like when we talk about what other communities pay for their law enforcement. So,
Yeah, I mean, I'll have meetings with all the mayors and, come back and talk at some point. I don't know how the best way to handle it is yet at this point, because it is gonna be an issue at some point. Like Rock Rapids pays over $100 a person. They get a set number of hours, but when you take a per capita split, our hours on our calls correspond. So it's went up 50 cents a year every year, as far back as every 2 years, as far back as I can find. Which, when you take into account inflation, it's well below inflation rates and stuff. So if you take the total population of the county and you take our costs divided out by the whole population, you can get some preliminary numbers, but every municipality's budget is tight. And so it's a matter of how does this all work? Right now, if you look statistically, the people in the rural parts of the county pay about, about 9 to 10 times as much as people who live in the smaller towns.
Yeah.
And then they pay 1.25 as much as Rock Rapids does. And so that causes a little angst. I hear it from them, the cost there, of course, in Rock Rapids, the discrepancies in costs. So we'll have to sit down and meet and see what we can all come to. I'm not going to just rush to conclusions on that, but
it's interesting because the overwhelming report that other city folks share whenever I get together at these bigger Iowa-wide meetings is that they can't even keep law enforcement. They can't entice them to come because it's just really difficult. It's really challenging to pay adequately and keep anyone on staff.
Yeah, I mean, Hawarden, for example, they have their own police department yet, but they really struggled. They went, I think, well over a year without a chief, a couple other officers. They finally raised their pay up a lot, and they did get some people. But yeah, their costs are, way over. They just have made a decision that they don't want to contract with the county, but it's really hard. We're struggling. We got 11 apps last time around. We hired one. But if you would back up 15 years, you probably got 40 apps. When I applied for the state patrol originally, we had over 1,000 apps. We hired 34. Now the state might get 150 to 200 apps per process. So that's come down a lot. So yeah, it's hard to get people. I mean, we pay quite well overall. It's just you don't see the interest necessarily that you used to see. So we'll try, but when it comes to a small municipality like here, or most of them in Lyon County, the cost of one police officer, gas and stuff would be well over $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
So contracting is probably a much better option.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a struggle. I mean, Sioux County, if you look down there, like I said, I'm kind of a nerd. They take their costs there's kind of a rule of thumb, one person on patrol for every 1,000 residents.
Mm-hmm.
And so they basically look at all their contract towns, which is Boyden Hall, Chatsworth, Hospers, Morris, etc. How many deputies basically are we allocated to them? We divide that out per capita, and each town pays per capita.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, like I said, I don't have anything. I think we just ultimately need to get together as mayors and myself and see what we can hash out as the best path going forward.
Yeah.
But for now, we keep on keeping on. Contract's good for another year for you guys. Rock Rapids is up this year, but everybody else is good for another year. So we have some time to sit down and figure that all out.
And you sent messages of trying to get us all together.
Yeah.
So we'll find a time
Yeah, we'll find a time. I mean, it's, I feel like the first few months, transitioning in, I mean, we had the budget ready, 10 days after I took office. But we're kind of through that hurdle now. We've had, getting through some of the other big things. So we actually have time to try to look a little more proactively out towards the future of things.
Yeah.
Which is good. So, yeah.
Well, thank
Get
you
that
for
taken
coming,
care of.
and I just wanted them to hear too, because I get to hear a lot of it, but they don't get to hear some of that stuff, so.
Any questions anybody has for me?
Really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and thank you for coming.
Yeah, for sure. Happy to come. If you have
And the
questions, let me
numbers
know.
and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, our goal is to have, it might not be myself, but to have deputies at least at least here every other month or so. So they'll probably bring things and don't be afraid to bring concerns to them either.
Okay.
But we'll be here more often, so just let us know.
thank you.
All right.
Have a good
Thank
night.
You bet. Have a good one.
See ya.
Sorry, Jordan. So sorry, we got hung up. We had so many people today
Yeah.
for public comments.
No, you're good. So, I'm just wondering, I read in the paper that the Overland Group had, asked you guys about reducing price on lot 2 and 3 from 80 to 60,000.
Mhm.
And you guys had approved that.
Mhm.
So how does that whole process work? Cause I had thought that you had to take sealed bids and all that.
Sealed bids for what?
For land that the city owns, whenever the city sells something,
Mhm.
they have to take sealed bids, 4 to 20 days or whatever it was. I'm just wondering, I never read in the paper that you guys had done sealed bids or anything, and I have no problem that they bought it. I think it's a good thing that they bought it. But aren't you supposed to do sealed bids?
No, so it's a public resolution. It's a public hearing. So you have to post that something is for sale, a city asset.
Yep.
Within a set amount of time, that then sets the date for the public hearing. So just like tonight's public hearing for our property budget, tax budget. And that gives people the chance to review the information and come in if they want to and discuss whatever it is. And then at that meeting, if there's nothing, or if there even is something, the city council can then vote whether or not they want to proceed with whatever it is, whatever the decision is.
Okay, so you guys don't actually have to do sealed bids on anything, you just have to have a public hearing and then you just
For the sale
sell
of,
something?
for the sale of city assets, I'm speaking specifically about the sale of city assets property.
Yes.
That is the law. That we have to have the public date set for the hearing. So there's 2 notifications that have to go out in that 4 to 20 day window.
Yep.
So we say, we are selling lots 2 and 3 for this amount to this people, and that goes in the paper.
Mhm.
And then it also says the date of the public hearing, so then you would know to come in where you could voice your concerns or support even for that sale at that hearing. And then after that is when we would have the vote from the council on that decision. So there's 2 publications, a hearing and a vote.
Okay.
Yep.
So, like, were you guys kind of in contact with them kind of throughout since the first time that they
Mhm.
first approached or
Mhm.
whatever? Okay. So then, the last time I was in here asking about Rebecca Lane, I was told you guys are gonna get back to me
So sorry.
about buying a lot on Rebecca Lane.
To jog my memory some more, I'm so sorry, Jordan.
Well-
That goes through the.
This was when, I come in here and I asked about getting the same deal that
Oh,
Owen and Jim had gotten, 75% off.
yep,
You guys said you were gonna get back to me kind of how, once all that was ironed out,
mhm.
what was gonna go on with that, but yeah, no one ever got back.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That would have been me that didn't get back with you. So we as a city don't own, we don't have the deeds to those properties on Rebecca Lane. That is the Chamber of Commerce.
Yep.
So we can go to the Chamber of Commerce and make a request or a suggestion, but ultimately it's the Chamber of Commerce's decision what they're going to do with the lots on Rebecca Lane.
Yeah.
So I know that I spoke to them because I have spoken to them monthly ever since that whole thing went down, asking them if there's any updates. But they at the time, and I'm so sorry that I didn't get back to you, Jordan, at the time, they decided that they were not going to do any more discounts on any of the lots. The lots were just going to be set for the original price. And you are not the only person that experienced that. I know that we have people currently on the city council who do not get any discounts either.
So how did they get 75% off then?
Who?
It was approved by the
Chamber.
chamber. The chamber has
Chamber.
the power to do whatever they want with those lots.
Yeah. So it was only them that decided that one lot was gonna be 75% off.
We talked about it and discussed it and recommended it, but we did not get any final say in that. That was their final say, whether to do what we recommended or not.
Okay.
Mhm.
'Cause I mean, I was told that previous mayor Gerald essentially said, hey, we're selling this lot for 75% off.
And I wasn't there. So when he spoke to the chamber, I wasn't present for that conversation, so I can't say whether or not that did happen or didn't happen. I can tell you that I've spoken to the previous mayor and the folks on the chamber, and it seemed as though the decision was made and the chamber agreed. So there was a recommendation from the city council. I was on the city council at that time, and so was Rick.
Yep.
City council wanted to give a discount for those lots. We wanted to incentivize the sale. So that was communicated to the chamber and the chamber agreed.
So did you guys know that when I came in here?
Know what?
That only one lot was gonna be 75% off?
No,
No.
we didn't note that. That would be only one lot.
No.
We recommended the same thing
For all of the
for all
lots.
lots. We thought we had recommended for all lots. And they agreed to that one.
And my understanding is that the city council still would support the discounted price of those lots, but we don't get to manage the sale of those lots.
Yep. So, and where are they at now?
With the sale of the lots,
Well, the Chamber of Commerce, aren't they supposed to pick people?
so that's gonna have to be a conversation that you have with the Chamber of Commerce, because the city does not manage the Chamber of Commerce, they're their own entity.
Oh, okay. I thought they had like a year deadline, because weren't they gonna be gone?
We don't manage them, like, the city council does not have any power or control over the Chamber of Commerce, they're their
Yeah.
own entity.
Okay. Well, I just, so the north end, right after the city bought that land, Rick had talked to Gerald about buying some land to put up apartments.
Mhm.
Okay, he said he would talk to the council. Well, months went by, and he had to call again to wonder, hey, what's going on with that? And Gerald said, I didn't know you were serious, so I'll talk with the council. Did you ever get talked to about Rick wanting to buy that land?
I don't recall that ever coming up in any conversations that we had at city council. But to be fair, I didn't know that anyone wanted any of the lots on the north end.
Yeah,
Up
yeah, this
until,
was
like,
before
the last
lots were
year.
even developed or anything.
Yeah, so it was all very speculative as we were determining the lot size and the lot cost.
Yeah.
I was not involved at that time, and truthfully, Jordan, as the mayor, I'm the person who manages the sale of the lots on the north end, and I update the council, because there has to be one point person, and it makes sense for it to be me, because it's a lot of back and forth, and I have a direct line to our attorney. So I would assume that was probably the role that Gerald had is to also, but I can't speak to what he negotiated with your dad or anyone else.
Well, yeah, I mean, there wasn't really any negotiation. But later on, I don't know if you remember this, Becca, you know, I was still working for the city at the time, and I wanted to buy portion, before you guys had anything developed,
Okay,
you know, I was told from the mayor and Gary, who was a council member at the time, to come in, give what you want to buy,
Mhm.
and kind of what you want to do, because it wasn't, you know, zoned or anything like that. So putting up apartments. And, you know, I came here and explained all of that. And nothing, it was in one ear, out the other. No one worked with us, no one bothered to have a special meeting like you guys did with the Overland group. He got ignored, I got ignored. Rebecca Lane, I think that was a total disaster, however all that went down. I just don't think it's very fair to ignore people that want to invest in this town. You know, because apartments, they could have been up 7 years ago already. You know, creating revenue for the town, all this stuff, more people, all that. But why are we getting ignored?
so I cannot speak to what happened with Gerald and what he did or didn't do. I can
But
say,
currently,
well, and I apologize because that would have been me that did not come back and communicate with you about what I heard from the Chamber of Commerce, not wanting to reduce the cost from them. Also though, you can communicate directly with the Chamber of Commerce. It's Todd and Al. So if you have questions, you can go directly to them. You don't need to go through me because we do not manage them.
yeah. Because the last time I was in here, you guys said that they weren't even a full group.
There are currently 2 on the board. To my knowledge.
And they sold, with 2 of them, they sold a lot to Irwin and stuff. But then you guys had said they couldn't sell because there's only 2 of them. So
So
you didn't know if it was city property or, you know, if it was gonna go back, change hands, you know, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So what happened is that they actually came to us and said that they were thinking about retiring or stepping away from it, and they wanted to have the city take it over, but there's nothing that the city can actually do legally to take that over without actually purchasing all of those lots back. And then they said, well, that's okay, we'll just stay on. And there was a lot of talk about them voting new members on and such. I don't know exactly where they're at with all of that. But yeah, we went through a lot of the legal stuff with that whole process and how that all needs to actually work. And,
Yep.
discovered that we
the
have
city
no say in what,
Yeah.
they're their own entity.
the city only thought that we were gonna be managing the Rebecca Lane stuff because we were told by the current chamber folks that they were done. Like we were handed over
Yeah.
things. They can't do that. They're not allowed to hand over paperwork to us. It has to go through a legal process. So they had to stay on. So we gave the papers back and they're continuing on. So it was just a very large mix-up, basically.
Okay.
That city was never under or able to manage those properties, even if they leave and quit being on the board.
So they couldn't just sell all them lots for $1 a lot or something back to the city and.
They can do whatever.
They can do
want,
whatever they want.
But
Mhm.
it has to be them.
And it has to be a legal process.
Mm-hmm.
It's much more complicated
Well-
than that.
Is there like a rift or something between the city and the Chamber of Commerce?
Not,
Is there like a problem?
not that I'm aware of. I talk to them every month and it's been fine.
Oh, that's good.
And we've sold some properties. So they just sold lot 9. Yes,
Yeah.
the one right next to our park, David Park. Right? Lot 9.
I was told we haven't seen anything.
Lot 9. That was last month,
Like 2 or 3 months ago.
3 months ago. There's all
I
blur,
have
but
not
yes.
told anything.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just think that whole deal is just a little messed up.
So I can't, again, like I cannot speak to what happened with Gerald, with your father-in-law. I am not involved in any of those conversations. I can only say from my perspective that I didn't close the loop with you, so I'm sorry about that. After I talked with them and they weren't going to reduce the rates. But I don't know what happened with Gerald and your dad or Gerald and you about the apartments.
Well, I just wanted to give a little history there because, he had talked to him twice, basically got ignored. I came in here, council meeting, got ignored. Then I came in, talked about Rebecca Lane. Yeah, you were supposed to get back, you didn't, and then yeah, that's fine. But then there's this whole, you couldn't sell that because they didn't have a full board, but they sold it to Irwin, and then, I don't know, I think it's just a whole confusing, messed up type of a deal.
Yeah.
I think some of that has to get ironed out. I know they're a separate entity, but to me, it seems like there's not good communication between the city and them.
I think that there is, so I have made every effort over the last year to talk to them every single month and get an update from them every single month about the sale. But we do not have any control over what they're selling. So, for instance, when the flood happened, and I wanted to make sure that everyone in town knew what lots were available, what they cost, local contractors, I talked to our chamber and asked them what was available. And they shared all of that information with me. The lots, all of the details. So they've been really good for us to work with. Now that we have a routine, they haven't been difficult at all. If you have an issue with the chamber, I highly encourage you to speak with them directly.
Yeah, no, I'll go talk to them. You guys had talked about some chickens.
Yep.
Or have you guys decided on that?
Did we talk
Like
about
what,
it last month?
what?
No, we gotta wait till we review all the ordinances, then we put it all together and then move forward all as one.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yes.
once you get that ordinance whole deal done.
Mark was supposed to be this month.
No,
Okay.
Shannon. And I had to reschedule because it was the big first day at my new job and my head was gonna explode.
And my traveling schedule is going to be hell in the next 8 weeks here.
So we'll see each other. Didn't we put
Middle
something in the
of
calendar?
May?
I think we put something in the calendar.
So to answer your question, we did talk about chickens.
Yes,
It's just, like what we've done so far, we're piling up together and we're bringing all forward.
to pass at the same time, to get codified.
Oh, yeah, I think the chickens would be good.
Yes.
And then one last thing, I also read in the paper that you guys, that company's going around with the whole ordinance deal, whatever that company's called.
Spring abatement.
Oh, the nuisance abatement.
Yes.
Okay.
So the shop that, just to fill in the council members now, the shop that I rent, at the time, we got a letter of construction materials and all this stuff. Well, at the time, we were told if we put up a fence, which is there now, the fence that's in the back of that shop, just a little bit south of that bunker. We were told if we put up a fence and got that all, kind of all hidden away back there or whatever, it'd be good to go.
Okay.
So I just want to make a point to the council that we were told if we did that, it'd be good.
Okay.
So I just hope it doesn't keep on flip-flopping,
Yeah.
It's not good, then it's good, not good. all
Did that come from
So,
us or did that come from the nuisance abatement people, that recommendation?
From you guys.
Okay,
From the council?
to put up a fence?
It was from the mayor and one council member.
Okay. I don't remember that, but that doesn't mean that it didn't happen.
It did not happen at an open meeting, right?
No,
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't there then. Was I the council person that went with the mayor?
no.
Okay. I have early onset dementia apparently. I can't remember anything. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Previous mayor.
Mhm.
Yes, okay.
Previous mayor and,
And a different council person.
I think it was Gary.
Okay. Okay.
But no, that's all I had.
Okay. Thank you. I do apologize, Jordan, for not closing the loop with you. If you don't mind, if I can ask you, if I fail to get in touch with you after you've asked me a question and I've committed to a task, if you could follow up with me, either just shoot me a text, a gentle reminder, I would appreciate it. If you don't, that's okay.
Yeah.
But at my phone is, sometimes I do forget, and so I do appreciate if you would reach out again, so that I can, because I did do it. I'm sorry that I didn't tell you that.
No, it's fine.
Thank you.
Yep,
Thanks for coming.
see ya.
Okay. Carol, we're gonna hop in, oh wait, let's do the public hearing for the budget. Get that over with. You guys wanna pull that out? That is in your packet. Okay. Ten point one. And then 3.0 on agriculture.
Okay, so your top sheet is the notice that was in the paper and all the totals. So if you, on the page 2, this is our levy sheet, okay? So the rate is down the right-hand column. Our general fund, the consolidated general fund is at 810. We also have an employee benefit levy, and that's 0.637. And debt service levy, that would be for our pool bond and our Faber Drive fund. So the total levy is 10.81. That's real similar to last year. The only increase came with the debt service. We're paying a little bit more on the bond principal this year. Okay. The next page is the expenditures. We have 2 pages of expenditures. Public safety, that covers law enforcement and our fire and rescue donation. Those fees are set for us. Public works, that covers like the shop expenses, streets, garbage.
Is snow removal the contract labor, Carol? Or what is snow removal? Okay.
It's included, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's just the extra help.
Yep.
Okay, health and social services, we don't have anything. When you get down to culture and recreation, so that's park, pool, library, community center. That's a big one for us.
What's the other culture and recreation? What are you lumping into that?
So the parks,
Very bottom.
pool.
Oh, okay.
Okay, next page, economic development, there's just a little set fee in that one. General government, that covers city hall, our city attorney, our insurance. Just kind of all the miscellaneous office fees that go into that one.
Is tort liability our premium for our insurance? Okay. So, okay.
And then the next section, the proprietary, that's water and sewer. Oh, I missed debt service. That's our total for the GO bonds, pool, and Paper Drive. And then the next section is the business type activities, that would be your water, sewer. And the debt service on that covers the water loan and the sewer loan.
So our budget didn't really change that much. From 24 to 25 to 26. Okay.
There's about the same.
And we're okay with our road repair expenses and everything too. That's all, okay? Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, do you guys have questions on any of the line items?
Yes, but I guess things, I want to make sure we have enough in that road repair. Of course, what he's got going and
Yeah, we should have. You just remind him not to spring any more on us, right?
well,
Just do one a year. One a year. One truck a year.
he showed me what he got highlighted to do and I'm like, there's 2 or 3 other ones that should be on there too.
Next year.
Yeah. it's just- I know we've had quite a few people ask, so.
Tell them it's next year.
What streets should be added? Is it just a block on each?
It's kind of, well, Fellowship Village, where those trucks go up and down, that's getting beat up pretty bad. And then I know right through Douglas, kind of that 200 block, that's with all that water on there, that's getting really eaten up too. But just kind of knows that through there. But neither of those 2 streets were on that. For this year.
Well, we got a pretty decent price.
Yeah.
Maybe we should consider.
That's what I wanted to know. Every year keeps going up. So that's why I just budget a little more, do a little more while they're here.
That while they're here, that,
I don't know, maybe get more of a break too, and the more you do.
if they're here, they might. Big chunk of their cost is probably the getting all the
Getting here.
equipment here.
Who's got roads? Who will be the roads? Carol, do you know who's roads?
It's more.
Mark? I'll talk to Jamie. I can talk to Jamie. Okay. Douglas and Fellowship Village, okay.
So I know Jamie was talking about basically the intersection of what's that street? North of Fellowship Village, or Jefferson.
Fellowship Village is on Jefferson.
Jefferson, yeah.
In Douglas
At
Street.
the corner of Jefferson and there, that water always sits because there's no, he'd like to actually pour cement, anything for a while. Just because if it sits on there, it's not gonna work out as quick as the asphalt and stuff.
He has
so.
some cement stuff he has to do kind of around town too. There's some curves that are busted and broken, and I was telling him about that too. That he needs to take an inventory, yeah. He needs to take an inventory of all of our curb areas around the city, because they're beat up, falling apart, cracked and broken. Okay. Do you need anything, resolution 825 for a budget, approving the annual budget for 25-26, please.
Motion.
Thank you, support?
Support.
Thank you. Shannon? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Ricky.
Resolution carries. Okay, all right, Carol, we'll go through your report. I'm sure not a lot of this is, we have updates on just because you've been budget heavy for the last month. Any overdue water bills greater than 30 days?
No.
Okay. We did the budget. Paperless billing, how's that coming?
Still working on that,
Okay,
still working on all these items.
okay,
I do want to mention that we have that sump pump meeting.
Yeah.
Next week on Wednesday. Hope to see you all. And invite your family, friends, neighbors.
DGR is gonna present, we have the materials, so, but it would be good for anyone to be there.
You send us a reminder.
Of course. DGR is donating their time
They are.
for this.
Awesome.
Yes, it's important to them to educate. They're excited about that.
And then report.
And also I want to mention cleanup day.
Oh, yeah.
Friday, May 2nd. Doing it the same as we did last year. We'll have dumpsters on the north side of the building for the household items and the junk. You need a tag, $15 tag for appliances. That's, even the small ones need a tag. And then the metal items are free if you got anything like rain gutters, swing set, grills, anything metal, just set that on the curb. And we like to get some of that metal, turn it in, it kind of helps offset the cost a little bit. And we are looking for extra help if you're available from 8:15 to 10 o'clock that morning.
Wonderful.
What day is that again?
Friday, May 2nd.
Yeah. All right. Any other comments or questions for Carol?
I don't think so.
Okay. Any, Jordan? No? Okay. Approval of the consent agenda from our March 10, March 18, and March 24 meetings. We have lots of March meetings. The treasurer's report, the list of bills, and our building permits. Another building permit. There you go.
And I made a copy for you. Got one earlier tonight.
I think I remember it.
So you show 30 feet, is that from your property line?
Yes.
So you're, the launch of the stair, you're moving that
That's-
to the proposed site.
Yes.
And then over here, you're gonna put a play set.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll have like a little playhouse thing there, like with sandbox and stuff.
Is this what those guys?
From
Yes.
the existing.
Yeah. The
So we had to
this?
put it
Front?
there,
Like this. So this is her
doing
front.
all the yard work
Yeah,
and everything.
so oh,
Just-
this is
on the
her
side.
front.
This is
Oh,
her front.
okay.
There's an alley in the back there.
Yeah,
Side street.
okay,
She's got that.
It's a nice shed.
okay, that was
I
why I was so confused.
Yeah.
Looked at the picture.
Is that
Right,
right?
I started
Yeah.
reading.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's what she's putting.
Says
So it's on the
there,
front,
but-
right?
So we're moving.
Yeah,
Oh, this
yours is, okay, no, this is, she's right.
So, okay,
East, south, this is north.
so this is that little weird road,
Yeah,
right?
that comes around.
Yeah, okay. So she's putting it on, okay. I figured
Other
it
side.
out. I was so confused. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Explain it to me. Sorry. Any comments or questions on the consent agenda, list of bills, or building permits?
I'll abstain from the building permits and special ordinances.
Should we just do the building permits? We can't.
We can't do Rick's building permit.
We can't, because we only have 3. We have to have a majority.
Oh, gotcha.
Unless you get one of them on the phone.
They haven't looked at it though.
No,
That's okay.
Okay,
We'll wait a month.
okay. Sorry. You can blame Chad and Mark. Get out of here.
Got it, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have to have a quorum.
Yeah, put it on for next month,
Okay.
next meeting or whatever. August 1st.
I'll make a motion for it.
Can I get a support?
I'll support.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay. So the old business, funding update, we're right around 2.5 million. I have a report that I briefly opened right before we started our meeting that I didn't get to dig into. But it's around 2.5 million. Our insurance update, so the last you guys have probably heard is what we're waiting on, is the decision from our ICAP to see if they agree with the total loss that was proposed by the separate engineers. I reached out to Jonathan and asked if he'd gotten an update, and he hadn't yet. So he does expect one this week, so I'll let you know as soon as I know. Continuing on that conversation, so we had a community center committee meeting earlier this week, last week, and discussed what we were going, so I updated everybody on the insurance and where we are and asked them what they were thinking in terms of would they want to try to reinforce this building if we could and get coverage, or would they want to tear it down and start new if we had the option? So that was a lengthy discussion. We also discussed the raffle and how we're going to handle that going forward. And there was one other thing that we talked about that I can't recall now. Nope, it's left my mind. So ultimately, what I'm trying to figure out in talking to our adjuster and to the engineer is if everyone says this is a total loss, our insurance company says it's a total loss, can we legally keep this building and have it insured if we reinforce it and an engineer signs off on it? Like, could we actually keep it, right? Because we would have to have insurance on the building. It's not negotiable. If we can't have insurance on the building because it's a total loss and et cetera, then it has to come down. There's not really any option with that. So I'm trying to figure out how tight our hands are with the whole thing to present that to everybody so we can know what we need to do. So I've been chasing that for the last week to try to get that information. The committee would like to have the raffle, a picnic in the park for the raffle so that we can put it on display now that it's nice out and get people out and about in the community. We were gonna maybe try to attach it to the week of the 4th since there's a lot is happening that week. However, it's too crammed. So we're gonna have it at the end of May is our tentative plan. But we wanna make sure we actually have some tangible news for the people of town. So a lot is riding on this week in our decision that we hear. if we do get the word that it's a total loss, we should have a check, just under $3 million. So the difference of what we've got, like 1.7 million or something from insurance, so that 1.3 million from them roughly, from our insurance company should be coming if they agree it's a total loss. And for that amount, because they don't have to agree that it's a total loss or it's that amount, just to be clear. They could still say that it's not a total loss, or they could say it's a total loss, but we're only gonna give you 2 million. There's really still a lot that's up in the air with that whole thing. But if that happens and all goes well, we could conceivably get back to our schematics and work on bidding on the project and doing all of those things. So fingers crossed, if you could say lots of prayers over the next week, that would be great.
So this picnic plan for July 1st, is that?
That just changed today,
Okay.
so that's why it's not in here. It will be in the minutes, corrected date, end of May. Yeah. And we've also divided up the tickets. So several of the committee members have taken a chunk of tickets and are selling them and are responsible for them, just to try to help facilitate sales, because having them here for Carol was really limiting. So we're working on that.
You have them available next Wednesday?
Next
At
one.
the
Yes,
sump pump meeting.
yep, have them available there.
Couple hundred.
So yeah. And then the other thing was, the Venmo. So the conversation circled around about Venmo again. And I went back to the attorney and just double checked all of that. It's, ill-advised. So it's a risk that the fire department is willing to take. I don't know if that's a risk that the city wants to take. So,
The fire department is separate entity.
Yep.
Yeah.
but
Fire
they were,
department is doing it through.
for the comfort of, yeah,
whole thing.
for the comfort of them being able to access it's just a different ballgame when you get into city funds. So our attorney advised against it and talked to several other attorneys who advised against it. So I know that checks are not convenient, cash is not, no one carries cash anymore. It's just to be safe rather than sorry. Okay, so we'll let that go. I'll relay that to the committee. Any other questions on the community center? I promise I stalk Jonathan and I do my best to give you guys updates as much as possible.
We appreciate it.
So the biggest bummer, I think, of the night that we all feel is about our North End subdivision. So I forwarded you guys the email that we got from Matt and the other Jonathan from the Overland Group about lots 2 and 3. When I spoke with him, he said that unfortunately Dollar General is suffering with the economy and the market. And so didn't feel like they could make that commitment, and maybe next year. And I said, well, I don't know that there's gonna be anything available next year. We can't hold on to a piece
No.
when it's very sought after. We've had many people who have been interested in these lots, and so,
As far as I can say, the Overland Group can still purchase it. They choose not to. That's on them.
yeah.
So. That doesn't surprise me when you seen they closed 96 stores, converted 6 others. It's like, why are you building a new one then? That was my biggest one that came through. Didn't surprise me, to be honest.
So, oh, and you also saw the paving has started, so that's happening, which is great. The gentlemen are still working through all of the grants, workforce housing tax credit. You know what I'm talking about. It's that program. Yes, so they're working through all of that still. We've given them what we need with our change to the property tax abatement for multifamily. And so they're doing their stuff now and working on getting that done. So lots 2 and 3 are available. And you guys all know we had interest. I was wondering if it would be okay for me to go to those people that were interested and see if they would still be interested.
Or why not?
Yeah,
Okay.
So,
absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah. I mean, might as well.
okay. So I'll reach out to them and see if they would like to move forward.
that's up to you guys, but I think everybody should be entitled to them. So I don't know if we can get on Facebook or how to do it, but I want everybody to know that lots 2 and 3 are available.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that we're not picking and choosing.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
I can do that since I manage the Facebook.
Okay, appreciate it.
If you check with them, then there's also, I have names of somebody else that's interested.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell them specifically because they were interested before and we went back and forth with them. Just to make sure that we honor that deal that we were trying to work out with them to support them, but then I will put it on Facebook so that it's public and then you can let your other people know. And then we can bring everything forward for the council to discuss. And you can also give those people my information too. So we have one person that's keeping all of the,
Right.
Info
yeah, I
organized.
just told them that at that time it wasn't,
yeah,
I didn't know what
yeah.
was
So
available.
if you want to tell them to call me, I'll have conversations with them about it all. Keep in my handy dandy notebook. Any other questions on the north side you guys have? Okay, favorite park. Anything?
There are no updates. I know we have to get together soon here and try and figure out that shelter house location and
Yeah. Should walk through that all.
He's not here for like 2 months, so have fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty busy too.
Yeah.
And then the basketball and pickleball court will be painted as soon as at night it stays above 60 degrees.
Okay.
So,
Over 16 degrees at night. Okay,
Hopefully soon.
yeah,
Tired of the cold weather.
yeah. Anything else for you guys?
Nope.
All right, before we stop, neither Mark or Chad are here, so we're gonna skip that one. Sounds like Sheriff will be having some extra monitoring, so that's great. Chamber of Commerce, I don't have any updates. I didn't get any information from them this month. Do you have anything? None? Okay. Nuisance abatement, did you all see your letter in the mail? Came in the mail?
I gotta check my mail.
Yep.
It's a cell phone letter.
Yep, so they'll be coming around sometime. That's what was in the letter, so if you get phone calls, that's, you know what to say, right? Company's coming around, they're evaluating every property, it's not the city council, right? It does say my name on the bottom,
I did see that.
yeah, it does specifically say me, so. I do get phone calls,
And council.
yeah,
Yeah.
I do get phone calls, so.
Well, made sure we got council on there.
I did.
Okay, Board of Adjustment. Oh, we have to fill out this board. So we have 2 currently on the Board of Adjustments, and we need to have 5. And when I spoke with the league, it was, the board should not be able to make decisions until they're a full board. They need to have quorum to be able to do that. And
Well, actually, Ron's still on until he's replaced,
okay,
so they have 3.
okay. I didn't have that information. So so anyway, we need to fill 3 spots because we have Jason, Erwin, and Ron. Ron's coming off, so we need to fill 3 spots. So, Carol talked to Sarah, I talked to the rest of these folks. I talked to Justin, Candace, Clint, Hope, and Sandra. All of them are willing to serve. I explained what the board does. I explained that there would be a training, the time commitment, etc. All are willing, which is great for people to consider being involved. So I think any of these candidates would be great. Ultimately, you guys get to choose. We did clarify, it doesn't say anything in our code that folks that don't live in city limits can't serve. So Justin does not live in city limits. But that does not preclude him from being on there. The reason I originally asked him, he's an engineer. So he is very, very bright and objective and is very useful to have on the community center rebuilding committee. So he was actually the first person that I asked because he's been really helpful. If you don't want him because he's on city limits, that is fine. I would recommend, if that's going to be our stance going forward, that we consider changing that in the code, just to be clear. But you don't have to justify that for this. You just need to choose 3 people. So I give you choices, you choose. And they need to meet tomorrow, right, Carol?
Not the new members.
Is Ron meeting tomorrow? Okay. Because Jason didn't seem to think that Ron was. Okay.
I am a big fan of Justin's.
Yeah, I like that too. I think you've given us really solid people. This is good.
I asked Jason if he knew of anyone who would be willing to. Sandra is on the rebuilding committee, and she's been really involved, coming to all of those meetings and weighing in on that. Clint, you guys all know Clint, he's really involved in a lot of the different things. Candace lived here most of her life and really involved in a lot of things around town too. So all of these people care deeply about Inwood. Big thing is that they can't be involved in real estate, they can't be involved in construction. There are conflicts that prevent a lot of people from being on the Board of Adjustments. So we do need to be mindful of that when we ask people. Try to find people who can be objective. You can each choose one.
The rest have impartial.
They're all willing, so just choose 3.
Yeah, I like people that are already involved, but I also like involving new and more people.
Mhm.
I agree, Justin is a definite asset. I would vote for him.
First I don't know their name, no, with it allowed, but not.
Other thoughts?
I think Hope would be a good one too.
Mhm.
I suggested Sarah because she's got a little bit of construction background. She knows how to put things together. That's often helpful in their decisions. And she knows our community.
Mhm. Thoughts? No one will be slighted, you guys. This is I'm asking them to, volunteer their time. So it's all good. There'll be another opportunity for them to get involved. Many of them are involved in enough too.
And, I mean, I like Sandra too. She let me get involved. But I agree with Rick where it'd be nice to get someone new that doesn't involve themselves in everything.
Mhm.
It's Hope.
I'm good with,
I'll agree with Hope.
okay? Hope, Justin, one more. Sounds like that's where you guys are landing so far. Isn't it fun?
No,
We just need a hat.
I mean, yeah, I like them all.
Basically,
You aren't gonna have a bad choice, so. I'm just looking at all of you because I want one of you to speak.
Your turn, Rick.
I suggested Hope. I think Jordan needs to suggest someone.
I will Clinton.
Okay. All right, so I have Justin, Clint, and Hope. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want a motion on that? Can I get a motion for the Board of Adjustment appointments for Justin, Clinton, Hope for a 5-year term? Which is great, because then we'll roll off Jason and Erwin and
Yeah.
replace with 2 new people in a few, 4 or 5 years. So we'll always have people who,
How many terms can you do?
I don't think there's a term limit.
It's unlimited, right? So their last meeting was in 2022. And so that's why we kind of like to keep them on for a little while,
Yeah.
so they get a little bit of experience.
I'll make a motion.
Support.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Alright.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, sub pump, you guys know that's next week, Wednesday. I think 7 PM, is that right? 7 PM. Shelter house, Kenny had to come, he came early, so do you guys have any questions on that from him, now that he's not here?
How
No?
soon do we need to vote on this?
I mean, he said in the fall, so,
Right, but he wants to get going with
uh-huh,
more bids and get things figured out.
uh-huh,
What we're thinking, if we're, the way I understand it, he wants to know if we're on board or not. If it's a yes or a no, that he can go ahead and they can go ahead and get started on it, or whichever.
So he's wanting the last 40
mhm,
for us to cover.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
He said they would do 20 to 30 over 4 years.
And I think it's a huge asset
Mhm.
for the city.
Mhm.
I mean, you got the Fourth of July activities, bringing in so many people. I mean, graduation parties are occasionally there.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like this, I think it's a great idea,
Yeah.
and we should just get it done as soon as possible, especially since we don't have the community center. We've got to get something going.
So we can't go for grants with the riverboat until September, right, Carol? That's the big grant cycle. So we would have to commit some anyway,
Mhm.
probably,
Looks good on the grant.
right?
Mhm.
More inclined to get something if we put money towards it. Do we have 30 to 40 to commit if we don't get 20 to 30 from riverboat? The fall?
They use part of their non-competitive, excuse me, non-competitive grant funds.
Okay. So is that okay with you guys? And then I can tell Kenny that he can go forward. Do you want to, so is 60 kind of where you're thinking? He should probably have, he said he was gonna get more bids. It's not us that's getting the bids, he's getting the bids.
Mhm.
He doesn't have to.
Right.
Looks better for the community if it does, but
Yeah.
are you guys okay to do that? To support?
I know I,
So I can tell them that. So we'll support 30 to 40K. They're gonna do 20 to 30, and it's roughly 60.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you want a motion for that?
Not until we get final numbers.
Okay. I will tell Penny. I did not order any apparel, that's on me. It's low hanging fruit and it keeps getting lower, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. I should have had it for the panel that I was on. Okay, so City Shop has been sold, that's supposed to be moved very soon. Did you guys see the email that I forwarded to you from Micah? Our attorney,
Yes, I believe so.
with the questions and the concerns? Did you see that, Carol?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so where's everyone?
I really think that just a conversation between Micah and Paul Kipley
Okay,
will answer all of those questions.
okay, so I'm not gonna sign anything though. I'm gonna let Micah and Paul talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because this is all language that I don't speak. So the only thing was, so before, what may happen, which is why I put it on the agenda, is that Paul and Micah may talk and they may come back with questions. So if you did read it, was there any thoughts that you had about any of the questions that Micah posed that you would want us to discuss so that I can help answer those questions so we don't have to circle around for another month on the paperwork? Do I need to bump it up in your mailbox or do you guys have it handy?
I haven't.
Okay. So in this, I don't really have any concerns or questions on 1 or 2. None of that causes me much heartburn. When you
Well,
look,
the 2D, I question why.
why we won't
City
own it,
won't own it until he's talking existing one?
sale of the building.
City won't own the building until 2029.
That's because we were doing
We did a 5-year payment.
plan on the building.
Gotcha, yep.
In 3, okay, so B, C, D, those questions may come back around to us. Do you have any thoughts on 3? Because I do feel like that is gonna come back to us. And I wanna know what you guys want to do.
I don't know, I guess, on B, I don't know if that will ever be an issue, but maybe if you wanna add something, saying that they are separate.
Because currently now, we have nothing to do with existing ones, so I don't know why that would change or anything.
Right.
What about C?
Have easement.
We don't do that already.
Do we have an easement for the parking?
We don't have a separate easement. The city owned all of them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessary.
And we're still going to.
Yeah.
So that part to me is,
Yeah. I don't think that's necessary.
Okay, and then D,
Yes.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
okay.
Seems-
I will tell Micah and Paul to talk, and I will be ready to answer any of those questions. Any other comments on that? I'll bring
I
it
don't
back,
think so.
bring it back to you guys. Okay, pool updates.
So we have all the lifeguards hired. We have 14. I think we have 5 new lifeguards.
Okay,
So, yeah, it's
that's awesome.
looking
That's
really
great.
good. We did end up increasing pay.
What's the new pay?
The starting pay is at 14.
Okay,
And then we raised everybody else, depending on how many
years.
years they've been with us, an extra quarter.
Okay,
So raises up a quarter.
Okay.
And we've hired Ann and Robin as head guard and assistant head guard.
okay,
And we're still working on hiring for a
and-
leadership guard.
Yeah.
Kind of like a trainee head guard, yeah.
Okay.
So we're still working on that, but should be finalized in the next couple of days here.
Okay,
Super.
yeah, anything else you need from the rest of the council for the pool?
No, I mean, with Jamie too, and he said he wouldn't have a problem having it ready by Memorial Day, so
Okay,
I think everything's going good and running good, and
Yeah, sounds like he's on top of it.
and just a reminder, that little slide is still broken, and we chose not to dig in to fix it. Okay,
we're all okay with that.
I'm just saying, not letting it forget. Anything else you guys have?
I think that was most of it.
Okay. All right, new business. Land purchase option south of Inwood.
I don't have anything on there
Okay.
yet. I'll ask.
Okay.
Again.
Club and organization updates. So there's the information about Kiwanis Cleanup Day. And then my usual reach out to like 20 different groups in Inwood for updates. And Summer Rec and Kids Club registration is open. They're planning to have Kids Club here at the community center again. Allison Podbone is going to be the lead. Brookston is taking a year off, so Allison Podbone will be the lead this year. And Summer Rec is looking to bus kids to Larchwood if they can figure it out for fall. So that's the story. If you have questions, you can talk to someone at work.
That'd be nice if they'd actually put up the batting cage for once.
This year, I think they're going to the battery calls.
Oh, perfect.
And I'll just reiterate it to Becky.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else for clubs and organization updates? Most things are winding down. They're getting ready for, the summer fun. Property tax abatement. So these are our policies. Do I just need to read these, Carol, or is there a resolution?
This is a resolution to set the public hearing,
Okay,
okay? So I sent them out, but I did not print all the pages because,
there's a lot.
yes, okay? Resolution determining the necessity and fixing a date for a public hearing on the matter of the adoption of a proposed amended and restated urban revitalization plan for Inwood residential.
Mhm.
This sets a public hearing for May 12th.
Okay.
Our next council meeting,
What's the resolution number?
on 9/25.
Okay. Can I get a motion for that?
So moved.
Support,
I'll support.
Shannon?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Resolution 925 carries. Next resolution, Carol?
1025 is setting the public hearing date for the commercial and industrial.
Can I get a motion?
Motion for it.
Can I get a support?
Yeah.
Thank you. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Resolution 1025 carries. All right, mosquito control, we do this every year. They come, they spray, it has to be not windy and at night, and they do a good job, so let's just hope that it's not as bad as it was last year with the flooding.
Can we ask them to start a little bit earlier?
They have to wait until they're 10.
Hmm.
But
It's a science.
they always make sure they're here before the 4th.
Will they come twice a year?
3 times, right?
As needed.
Oh, okay.
So, the year
Yeah.
before, 23 was pretty good. It was dry. Then 24,
Not good.
it was good until all the water.
So bad.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm with Jordan where we would like them twice before the 4th, if possible.
And we can make the request, and they can come if they can come, if the conditions are good. Yeah, they've been pretty good. I mean, when we were calling and trying, they were doing their best to get out to all of the communities as quickly as possible. As weather permitted to address all of the problems last year, so. What's that amount, Carol? Did you give me that number?
It was 3,565.
Okay. Can I get a motion on that?
So moved.
Support? All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign? Thank you. Next meeting, Monday, May 12th at 6:30. Can you guys all be there?
I might not be able to,
Okay,
might be into that,
okay.
not sure.
Anyone else? So Chad's gonna be up in the air. Well, like this season, he's just always up in the air for this season. So,
I'm actually okay.
okay. And we'll plan on Mark being there, so you're a question mark, so then you should be okay. And we'll just be in touch as it draws near. I have to go to, the leadership thing in June during that meeting, so June 9, I fly out. I fly out that morning, so if we can move the meeting, that would be great, so I can be here. If you can't move it, because it's a busy time, Mark can cover, but I would like to be here if at all possible, and I want to put it on the calendar now, so that if we can do it, we can do it. But I can send an email since Mark and Chad are gone, unless you guys have a specific date that would actually work.
It's June, so there's not very many good dates.
I know,
I know I'm open the 16th.
I have a different board meeting that
Yeah.
night
it's gonna be a good night.
for Sanford.
Or even the 2nd.
Could you do the 17th? No, bad? 18th?
Maybe.
Actually, the 17th, I don't care about.
17th, Jordan?
Wrong month, so that would.
You don't have a calendar yet?
Yeah.
Rick, what about you?
For which one?
The 17th?
It's an AM game, so, yeah, I could do that.
Can you guys pencil on the 17th? And then we can send an email and see if Chad and Mark can be there. Okay. Okay. Shannon, you have anything?
I don't.
Jordan, you have anything? Rick,
Nope.
Carol, do you have anything? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. It was a long one. We don't have those that often, so sorry. We had a lot of people that wanted to come today.
Yeah.
So that took up a whole hour of people coming.
It's good to see people come though.
Yeah,
Something.
yeah. So part of that is my doing because I reach out to all of these groups and ask them if they have.
Anybody want to buy a raffle ticket tonight while you're here?
You want me to shut it off?
Oh, sure. I hope that it ran the whole time.